Hi, welcome to the first official podcast on the channel. Today we are starting a new segment, a reflection space based on the Bible books we've already read. So instead of just reading itself, this is where we slow down and look at what stood out, not in a preachy way or in a motivational way, just thoughts from the text and what it means in real life. And this is coming from the book of Jonah. So yeah, thank you for being here and let's get into it. Okay, so the idea I'm walking around from the book of Jonah is not really about Jonah. It's the portrayal of who God is. It's like I just said, wait, hold up. This entire book, I know it's named after Jonah, the book of Jonah, but there's a lot of insights you can actually get from just one book. You know, when we talk about God, we say God is invisible, we don't see him, we don't understand him, we don't hear from him, but we just believe. And through scriptures, the character of God is actually revealed. And for me, it's very important to know the character of God because it helps you understand who you're talking to. Like when you go to the Father, you know how to approach him, you know if he's tender hearted, you know how to present a situation. Like most of the time, I try to relate it to my earthly father. I'm like, okay, this is supposed to be the relationship that we have with God. But then there's a lot of scenarios on, okay, God, through time past, we see that he can be harsh in of his decisions, and yes, so you'll be like, oh, am I going? How do I present my situation to God? What do I do? How do I do this? But the Bible clearly opens like a very big Genesis and Revelation, if you're going to put it that way, about the character of God. Now, when we look at the Old Testament, it almost feels like, yeah, he's always punishing and doing hard things. But then I started to look at Jonah differently. Not the running away part, but the part where Jonah said the reason he didn't want to go. Now, in the book of Jonah 4 2, Jonah said, that is why I tried to forestall by fleeing to Tarshish. I knew that you are a gracious and compassionate God, slow to anger and abounding in love, a God who relents from sending calamity. He didn't say he was scared of the people. He said he didn't want to go because he knew God was going to be merciful. So that already tells you something about God. It means it was obvious that this is a consistent pattern of God known all through the people that belong to him. And Jonah was like, nah, there's no point of me going all the way to the state when I know that you are not going to even do anything to them in the first place. Nah, send me home. And he tried to flee from God because growing up, the ideology that I get from studying Jonah in school, Bible schools, just basically general reading is that this was a man that God told to do something and he was like, nah, I'm not doing it. He was scared of the repercussion or he was just basically disobeying God. That was the entire message that I got growing up reading the book of Jonah. But then reading it again, I just like, no, I'm seeing something different. I'm seeing that this was a portrayal of God tender nature. And it still gets more. Like, let's get into this. Let's connect it a little bit to the book of Genesis in 23 to 33. Pardon me. Abraham kept saying, what if you find 50 righteous people? God said he wouldn't destroy it. He said, okay, what about 45? And what about 40? What about 30? What about 20? What about 10? And God kept responding. He didn't get frustrated. He didn't shout or shut Abraham down. He kept listening. This part also stood out to me because God had already made a decision, but he still allowed the conversation. That shows patience, that shows mercy, that shows that he allows relationship. You know what I basically saw in all this communication was like, I'm like, okay, so he desires a relationship with us. He desires this friendship, this not just rapport where you have with your father or a very close, genuine friend, and then your friend has your attention, they listen to you, they listen to your suggestion. Like, he is God. He has the final say. But here he is. He went to Abraham and like, listen, let me tell you what I want to do to this kingdom. And Abraham is like, okay. And then he's like, this is what I want to do. And Abraham is like, okay, but wait, what if you see this amount of people? Will you still go ahead? And he's like, no, don't worry. For that amount, I won't do anything. And Abraham is like, okay, just hold on a little bit. What if you see this amount? And he's like, for that amount, I won't do anything. And Abraham is like, okay, see, I'm sorry that I'm still talking, but what if you see? And I was like, this is a bit different from the resolution and the idea that which was carried out from the entire, like, me basically. You may have a different revelation, but I'm speaking to like everybody and people that are also like me, that have the revelation of, oh, Jesus was God was he's harsh and he's straight to the point, and it's like, what I want to do, I'm going to do it. But like, this is something that we should see, that I should point out. Oh, you may already know this, but he's loving and kind and gentle. He didn't even shut down Jonah. He didn't even shut down Jonah. It shows how merciful, compassionate, and slow to anger it was. Now, Jonah was angry. And if you look at it in the book of Jonah 4, that is 1 to 4, it shows Jonah was displeased and angry. And God didn't rebuke him from that anger. He said God taught him a lesson. In the book of Jonah 4:6-11, God made a plant grow to give Jonah shade. Jonah was happy about the shade. Then the next day, the plant withered and died. And Jonah was upset. He even said he would rather die. And God used that exact moment to explain something simple to him. If you are concerned about a plant that you didn't create, that came and left, how much more the people of Nineveh? It wasn't harsh. It was a very simple lesson. And that says a lot, because these reflections or this reaction that we have, anger, frustration, complaining, Jonah showed it. And God didn't shut him down. God didn't rebuke him for being angry or being upset. So when people rebuke you for every little thing, you start to question if that truly reflects God, because he took his time, he explained. And when you put all those things together, you start to see something. God is patient, God is kind, God listens, God allows you to speak, God teaches. And that changes how you approach him. Because you're not just talking to some distant or harsh father, you're talking to a father, someone that is patient, someone who has time for you. And to me, that's what stood out the most in the book of Jonah. So let me know in the comment section what stood out the most for you, or what revelation you got from reading the book of Jonah. Thanks for listening. Bye for now, and I'll see you in the next one.